everyone, in this video I'm going to talk to you about gender equality training and awareness raising. For that I will first give you a short overview of why to conduct such training and also what you can expect to learn and to find. We also have the chance to have Dr. Kathrin Goldammer with us today to share our experience in awareness raising. And finally, you will have some tips to be able to act from tomorrow. So let's start. First with why to conduct such training. While you are conducting gender equality training, you aim to raise awareness, first about inequalities in your community or your field of interest, then about gender equality objective. Of course, they may vary depending on which context you're applying them, but that could be, for example, reach equal representation in decision-making bodies and processes, or also that women and men feel safe and live free from violence and sexist discrimination in the public and private sphere. Another purpose of a gender equality training is to mainstream gender in the planning and implementation of your programs or policies. It also ensures coherent legal frameworks and good organizational management, which are essential to reach expected results, right? But the idea here is really to engage in a meaningful dialogue, not only to transfer knowledge, but to create a sustainable dialogue over time. Who can participate to such training? Well, it's really everyone. There are four main steps of a gender equality training. First, awareness raising. While awareness raising is really the first ingredient of a gender-just energy sector magic recipe, let's say. It provides some form of education and enables you to understand the context of gender equality in the energy sector. Because did you know that while women represent more than 50% of the population, they only account for 32% of the renewable energy workforce and occupy only 1/3 of the senior management position. So why are we continuing to deepen the inequality gap? In the context of energy communities, understanding the relevance and gender equality enables you to avoid the reproduction and reinforcement of gender inequalities, but also to reassert their democratic principle and also to reflect on how communities can contribute to the social transformation of attitudes, behaviors, and beliefs about gender. It is also important to provide yourself with appropriate expertise. For that, you can participate in some workshops, for example, or you can also do some networking and discuss to bring experience from women in the energy sector, or you can also recruit experts. It is also essential to use gender tools and instruments. Many are available. Structures such as EG, RESCOOP, or WECF have many online and user-friendly. But here are four main tools you can start with. First, sex and gender disaggregated data and gender indicators. Both of them, you can also find them in what we call a gender analysis, which is also an essential tool to mainstream gender in your field of interest. But then also an important one is a gender responsive communication, or again to conduct a gender impact assessment. We have with us today Dr. Kathrin Goldammer to share our experience in gender awareness raising with us. Dr. Goldammer, the floor is yours.
Ms. Kathrin Goldammer, I am the director of RLI, which is the Reiner Lemoine Institute, and we're a research institute based in Berlin. We're doing energy research with a focus on renewable energy and electric mobility.
Thank you. But let's have a look, because gender equality topic has been growing since some years now, but the energy sector is still lacking awareness of gender issues, and women really remain underrepresented in the sector. So in your opinion, what are the causes of this situation?
I'm an electrical engineer myself. And when I went to university, we were around 3 out of 100. So 1 out of 30 women among men in the field. So obviously there was already a stark gender disparity. But you know what? Working now at RLI, we've achieved gender parity at all levels. So what I draw from this is that obviously if you're committed to diversity, you can reach it, and you would have to ask everybody else out there why they haven't achieved it yet, because at RLI, working in energy research, we have what I would call gender equality.
But could you tell us a bit more about your experience and maybe what kind of activities you or your institute have conducted in order to raise gender awareness, please?
Well, what we've done at RLI is a number of things. So for one is we've actually looked at the numbers and we've made people aware. So I've went to the teams and told them, are you aware that you have only 1 out of 10 women engineers in your team? Is this something that you've already looked into? And what we've done is also we've hired and promoted women if we found out that, some teams were lacking gender diversity. Something else that we've done is that we've actually collected examples of how the women in our teams experience the work that they do, not only internally, but also, externally when they go to conferences or when they meet with our clients. And we have fed back this experience to everyone else at the Institute, as in, have you heard of this still happening in the world where we live today? Can you imagine what your female colleagues are going through? And I hope this raised some awareness as well. And I think what this has achieved is that it not only has it made people aware of gender disparities in our field, but I think it also provided them with a set of tools, as in, well, what can I do? I wasn't even aware, but what can I do myself? Or what can I do if, my colleague and I are at this meeting and things turn really strange and sexist? What can I actually do? And we've provided people with some examples of what, I myself as a woman would find an appropriate thing to do, or what they could do in order to set an example against sexism.
And what have been the outcomes of such measures?
The outcome is that I think I'm proud to say that we're the only energy research institute with gender parity really on all levels. So from the student level to the heads of teams. But I think what we also achieved is that we made the world a little bit better, because we're the ones providing the female speakers, and we're the ones providing the examples for everyone else to pick up.
Okay, so briefly, what could you recommend to energy communities to be more gender aware?
Well, what I recommend is that you feel bad if you don't have gender parity, and make it a priority. I mean, you have so many other KPIs probably, right? This could be your finances, or this could be the number of members, or whatever your key performance indicators are. Obviously, gender diversity should be another one. And then if you're committed to it, you will take it as seriously as all the other KPIs that you have. And then you will start doing something about it, or you will make someone else do something about it because, they haven't reached their goals yet.
Thank you very much, Dr. Goldammer. So here are some tips you can start to apply from tomorrow on. You need to be committed to diversity and wonder why gender equality has not been reached yet. You can also make people aware about existing disparities between gender, and also share examples of what is appropriate or not appropriate to do or to say. Because fighting and erasing sexism in your field of interest will automatically bring more gender balance and better results. So we are now done with our topic. I hope you have learned a lot and that you feel empowered to act. We need you on board.